Hi, we're going to continue with the Kidnap King. First, let's review these one more time. All right. Grip, bring, lip. I, consonant E, long I sound. Drive, price, bite. IGH, also long I sound. Fright, light, might. I, consonant, consonant. Mild, wild, child. All right, so far we had kidnapping, and we know that's a crime, and Sammy's obviously been taken against his will. We don't know what they want yet. We're assuming money, but we don't know that for yet. Investigate, to look for clues, okay, to try to figure out what's going on. And that's what our friends and the police officers are all trying to do. They're investigating, trying to see if they can figure out where Sammy is. Resolution, remember that we have to pull everything together, and we have to have an ending. We have to solve our problem. So when we solve our problem, that's a resolution. And normally in a mystery, that'll be the end of our story. So we're going to continue with The Kidnapped King by Ron Roy. Hey, Cal. All right, chapter 8. Sammy left a trail, Mom, Dink said. He what? Dink explained about the pieces of yellow glass. Oh my goodness, Dink's mother grabbed the phone, dialed quickly, and handed the phone to Dink. Tell Officer Fallon, she said. Now, I can synthesize here. We know that the police are supposed to be solving this mystery, and they found a tassel from Sammy's pajamas, but they didn't find any of the yellow glass. That's the only clue the kids know about. Dink's mother wants to be sure that the police know all of the clues, so she is calling to tell them about the yellow glass. So I have to put ideas together to understand why she's doing that. She wants them to have everything they need so they can investigate the correct way. Here we go. Dink talked to Officer Fallon and listened. But when we got to Ron's bait shop, we didn't find any more glass, Dink said into the phone. He nodded and said, uh-huh, then hung up. Officer Fallon wants all the glass we found, Dink said. He pulled the 4 little pieces out of his pocket. His mother picked up the phone. I think I'll go visit Joan Clinker, she said. She must be frantic, and she's all alone at the hotel. She dialed another number. Hello, Joan? This is Dink's mom, Mrs. Duncan, she said into the phone. Would you like some company? May I come over? Dink couldn't hear what Joan's answer was, but his mother smiled. Okay, fine. I'll be there in 5 minutes, she said, before hanging up. She glanced into the mirror, then headed for the door. We're meeting for coffee at Ellie's, she said. Oh, let me have the pieces of glass, and I can take them to the police station after I meet Joan. Dink dropped the yellow glass into his mother's hand. She smiled weakly at the kids, and then hurried out the back door. Dink stared at the door, thinking. Earth to Dink, Josh said, snapping his finger in front of Dink's nose. Dink shook his head. Something my mother said made me think of something else, but now I forgot. You forgot what your mother said, or you forgot what it made you think of? Ruth Rose asked. Both, Dink said, giving Josh a look. I was just getting it when you snapped your fingers. Sorry, Josh said. Why don't we have a snack? Maybe your memory needs some ice cream. Ruth Rose laughed. Better feed him, Dink. You know how he gets when his tummy is empty. Dink sighed. We finished the ice cream last night, he said, heading to the kitchen. He pulled open the refrigerator. But we've got Cool Whip and cherry Jell-O. He grabbed the bowl and handed it to Josh. Here you... Then Dink stopped. He stared at the bowl of Jell-O. That's it, he yelled. It's yellow. Josh shook his head. Dinkus, this is red Jell-O, not yellow Jell-O. No, I mean, yes, I know, but Jell-O made me think of yellow, Dink said. Can I eat while you talk, Josh asked. Dink got bowls and spoons and put them on the table. Then he continued. After you guys left yesterday, Sammy's tutor came over and gave me and Sammy a French lesson, she said. Josh grinned. Say something in French, he said. Just eat, Josh, and let me finish. And here's a picture of them all eating their Jell-O. Sorry, Josh said, plopping a glob of Cool Whip onto his Jell-O. He let Pal lick his spoon. Remember a few minutes ago when my mother said she was going to see Sammy's tutor? Dink asked. She called her Joan, remember? Josh and Ruth Rose nodded. That made me think of the French lesson yesterday. She taught me to say yellow in French. The yellow the word for yellow is jaune, only I pronounced it Joan, like her name. Dinkus, Josh said. What's this got to do with anything? Don't you guys see, Dink said. The French word for yellow sounds just like jaune. Joan, and Sammy's tutor's name is Joan. Sammy could have left a trail of red or blue, but he chose the yellow glass. I think Sammy was trying to say Joan. And that's where we're going to stop for today. All right, let's talk about this for a minute. Why does Officer Fallon want the glass? Obviously, he wants the glass because it's a clue, it's evidence, it's part of the investigation. What do you think it means when Dink's mom says that Joan must be frantic? If you are frantic, you're hysterical, you're just so worried you can hardly concentrate. So if you're really frantic and upset, it probably wouldn't be a good time to be by yourself. So why does she go meet with Joan? She goes to meet with her because she wants to offer her comfort. She doesn't want her to be by herself. She wants to know that Joan to know that we're supporting her, and we know that she's worried about Sammy. Now, how does the word jello help Dink think of something important? Well, jello rhymes with yellow, and yellow is the color of glass, and Dink remembers that the French word for yellow sounds like Joan, which is also the name of Sammy's tutor. Could be something. We'll tune in tomorrow to find out. Thanks for listening.